So this is part 1 on restoring the 1976 Roper RT16. So you can see I got all the red stuff painted. So you got the front frame, I'll get to that in a minute why it looks a little goofy. The rear frame, the engine shroud because it's going to get a 16 horsepower Kohler. Of course the clutch pedal bracket thing, both fenders. Of course the side frames there, the floorboards. And then this is a custom side panel that I made so that way it fits the engine. And then all of the black parts, I'm actually going to clean all this stuff up and then get all that stuff, and I'm going to paint all the miscellaneous like little black parts like this axle, the clutch pedal, like tie rods and all this other stuff. And then I need to clean these a little bit more, sand them down, but these are of course all the engine tins. Need to paint those too. I've got all kinds of extra parts in here that I won't be needing, like these grill meshes, so I'll use those on another one. So the front frame, you can already see that it looks very homemade, and that's because that 68 orange Hydrotrack 12 that I'm in process of actually building from scratch. You can see right here what that tractor is for those of you who hasn't saw that video. So basically what I'm doing with that one is I'm building an entire hydro from scratch, and I used the front frame off of this tractor, and I needed a new front frame, so here it is. So basically I put those 2 bolts in the back so that way the wheel drive will fit all the attachments that it's supposed to have. Put these 2 notches in there. It doesn't look very pretty. These welds aren't the greatest because my normal welder, which is that one right there, actually broke, and I had to use a stick welder, and that didn't go very good. I like this a lot. I think it looks pretty good. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is how this turned out. And I kind of forgot to sand the paint a little bit there, so it's a little flaky, but I guess, oh well, I'm not going to redo it now. So I'm going to get a bunch more stuff here done, and then I'm going to come back when I get some more progress. And it keeps looking pink, but that's the red that it looks like. I had to actually open this door so that way you can see it. So yeah, so I got quite a bit done since the last time I had the camera on. So I got the rear portion of the frame sitting here ready for the front half to go on. The transmission and engine right there waiting to go in. I really don't even know if that engine runs yet, but hopefully it does. I got a new carburetor for it somewhere around here. I got a bunch of this miscellaneous parts painted in black. I paint all the miscellaneous parts in black because it's easier to paint than all these little tiny parts of the automotive sprayer. So I did that. This is the rear light that's going to be going on the back. I actually have another one on that RT13 right there. It looks like this. They look really cool once they're installed, and I really like how they are. I actually have a camera right there, so once I shut this camera off, I can show you me actually putting it together. It still records in 4K, but it's not nearly as high quality of 4K as this camera I'm holding it, so hopefully it'll turn out. So yeah, enjoy the putting it together footage. So as you saw, I got the side frames put on, I got the front axle put in off camera, and I have this eye hook on here, so on that way I can get the transmission put in on the way I do it. So here is me putting the transmission in. transmission installed. I changed some camera settings so that way it looks a little bit more red instead of pink on camera. I put some grease on the end of the spindles when I took the hubs off, so that way when I put the hubs back on, it's got grease on there to keep them from getting seized on. So as you can see, that out-hook is actually what's holding the rear of the tractor up onto this forklift. Hubs are over here painted. I painted the little bolts for it also. So next will be the floorboards and fenders. So as you can see, I got the fenders, floorboards put on. I got the dash put on. I kind of mismeasured this hole, so you can see it's a little off, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that. I have the rear tires outside drying off, ready for paint, because I kind of forgot about them. And once those are dry, because I had to wash them because they were pretty dirty, I'm going to paint those, and then I'm going to actually paint the front tires, or the front wheels. They're actually these two right here, so it's going to get turf tires like a Roper should have. These front ones are just on here temporary. Those are going to go for some other project I want to do. So I will come back when I get some more done. So off camera, I decided to get the wiring done. So you can see I did all that. I used an old regulator, but I cleaned it up really good. Brand new solenoid. And then I put wires in these little black sleeves to protect them. Wired it up to the key switch. A light to tell you that the ignition's on. And then of course the light switch. Then ran it down to up here. One wire will be for the headlights, and then the other wire will be for the ignition. I hot glued all of the connections because I'm tired of them falling apart and not working. So I will come back when I get some more progress. I got the tires put on it. I got the tread put on the floorboards. I believe that you would have saw the dash put on it. I was just getting the wiring done, and I just need to put a ground wire down by the solenoid and hook up the two wires on the solenoid, and then the wiring will be done. The next thing that I'm going to do is put the seat spring on and that rear plate that holds the light on. And then basically hook up these two little things that move the clutch and brake pedals, or clutch and brake. And I'll be ready to put an engine in. So I'm going to get some stuff done and come back. So I got the seat spring and rear light panel put on. And of course the light, got that all wired up. I finished up the wiring, got a throttle cable mounted. I was just working on the clutch. So that works now, just doesn't have a return spring. Finished up some more of the wiring, so now it actually has the battery cables. Ground wire is right here. So I'm actually going to end this video right here because I wanted to save a little bit of this for the next video, because the next video is actually going to be filmed in 8K. So I wanted to make this look as good as possible then, and wait to show you guys the finished product until then. So yeah, thanks for watching.